Please subscribe, turn on notifications, like, comment, and share the video. Become a channel sponsor and help support our content by going to our Patreon. Link in the description. Now enjoy the video. So before we get into the video, I just want to give a shout out to Hirohei for breaking the story. Link in the description to his video on the matter. Apparently there's a podcast called Violet Wanderer. They had their 65th episode on New Year's Eve. The guests were the always hateable P to the E to the D to the O, Tello, Stretch Armstrong, and their seaside orca pet, Renfimus. In this podcast, they talk about their plans to continue to cancel Vic Mignogna and how you can help. Let's take a listen to a clip of the podcast.
Fear of, if people aren't vigilant, it's not going to be immediate, but once the cons have hardship, once there's that impetus of, well, yeah, it's been a couple years, and maybe he's learned his lesson.
That things have died down.
He's really struggling, and he still has that ardent fan base.
The backlash the threat of backlash needs to have an imposing potential financial consequence to the degree that they're not even willing to risk it.
Right.
Is what it needs.
You hear that, TVW Dungeoneers? If you hear of any conventions having Vic Mignogna come into your town, you guys need to get your trans asses off of the couch and call and tell them that you were going to show up until you found out this fucking pervert was coming on.
And the key points to hit are that the fact that he has a reputation now, and there's a documented reputation that he has now, the fact that you can Google his name and find
anymore. You cannot play dumb anymore, because it was playing dumb for a long time. Like this whole "we didn't know" nonsense is bullshit. However, right. You can't play dumb anymore.
Right, but having these things in the media that are readily accessible is the way that you go to a small local con that has invited Vic Mignogna, and you can go to local media and say, look, our local convention has invited controversial potential child predator, sexual harasser, whatever you want to use, because those words have all been used in the media.
So you can say, controversy. If it bleeds, it leads.
Look at what our local con has invited upon us, and invited upon your children, invited upon our community. It's a big deal for a smaller con or a medium-sized con.
Yeah, there is a perverse sense of irony that I have that loves that I would be able to turn around the "won't somebody think of the children" on some of these right-wing chuds.
So what they're telling people to do is call cons that Vic is going to and make such a fuss about it that the cons actually think they're going to lose money. The host of the podcast then tells his audience that if his listeners hear of Vic going to a con nearby, to get off their, quote, trans asses and call the con and say that they were going to go, but now they won't. Basically, just call the con, lie, and hope that enough people do it and the cons actually believe it. In the podcast, they then go on and say that you should also call local media to tell them about how the cons are inviting a, quote, controversial potential child predator, sexual harasser, whatever you want to use, because those words have been used in the media. What is absolutely disgusting about the last part of that quote, whatever you want to use because those words have all been used in the media, is that they are saying, forget about the fact that he hasn't been convicted of any of these things. Forget about the fact that there's never been any evidence of these accusations. Go ahead and say them. It's okay because it's been said in the media. Now, the point in calling the media is obviously to have them run negative stories about the cons that are hosting Vic in order to force them to cancel Vic. Other cons will see what happened and just not book it. So in other words, Kick Vic's plans to cancel Vic going forward is continue to lie, continue to threaten, and continue to destroy. How disgusting is that? Now please remember, if you want to help Vic in going to cons, remember to show up to cons Vic is going to. Always be respectful. Don't threaten the cons, and be nice and positive. When a con posts about Vic, tell them that you're glad that he's going. However, be firm if a con cancels Vic, and let them know that you don't want to go because he's not going, and demand a refund. Let them know you were only going to support Vic, but like I said before, make sure to be respectful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, share, and consider donating to our Patreon. Now have a wonderful day.